Hello everyone, this is our research project presentation. Our topic is investigating the disparities and challenges of big data analytics applications in against COVID-19. Here are our team members and supervisor. My name is Chen Weima, and now I will start with the introduction part. First, why are we studying this topic? In the face of COVID-19, it is very important to collect information quickly and efficiently, such as the number of infected, suspected, critical ill and cured, as well as medical personnel, medical supplies, and daily necessities. The development of big data is very rapid, and it is of great help in data collection and so on. Big data already has many applications in the response to COVID-19. Regarding the role of big data, we can say that there are information collection, which collects all COVID-19 related information, and information aggregation, which summarizes and updates data in various regions, data processing, which is the most important part of the big data system, to achieve different processing methods according to different needs. Visual processing, to visualize the analysis results and display them more intuitively in front of users. In our project, we listed several specific applications of big data in COVID-19, namely support the operation of emergency management mode, achieve precise epidemic prevention, and control and improve public opinion environment.
Now we'll go through the applications of BDA that are being used to against COVID-19. First one would be prediction and detection applications. Since COVID-19, BDA become a more reliable method to monitor and control COVID-19, according to WHO and CDC. Big data analysts can provide predictive and surveillance mechanisms. Based on its powerful data analysis capabilities, the big data analysts apply a range of methods from other scientific fields, such as computer science, biometrics, in behavior science, biological, social, and economic sectors, to achieve highly effective, robust surveillance and control functions against COVID-19. This is a particular advantage of BDA in the fight against COVID-19. However, investigators, policymakers have found that the use of irrelevant methods in selecting participants from the population has led to significant bias, as patients are both with and without COVID-19. Other limitations of the mode are the lack of outcome descriptions, including body temperatures, sex, age symptoms, red blood cell distribution, and several other basic characteristics from the population that are expected to provide better insight. The second BDA application that being used is tracking. A big data analyst can significantly help people monitor the spread of diseases. The big data analyst capability can address some of the unknown questions about COVID-19, such as how the COVID-19 virus differs from all previous known pandemics, as well as its ability to infect populations, the actual number of people infected, how long the virus can survive in various environments, and whether surface contact can cause virus transmission. All the limitations of tracking BDA models and algorithms can be divided into two models. The limitation of the age structure subscriber infected remote model is since it has a R-ling, which is a basic reproduction number, it is often estimated inaccurately, which poses challenges of precise calculation of the distribution of four categories of infectious, suspected, exposed, and remote population, as interpreted above. It also has a limitation on the period of infection calculation as well. Well, the limitation of the time-dependent dynamic mode is since the algorithm itself exhibits inaccurate resulting from symptoms, delayed appearance, and late detections, as well as lack of efficiency detection and testing methodologies. These issues create the model boundaries. Next, we'll talk about the external and internal factors that affect big data analysis. The first one would be unstructured form processing difficulties. Unstructured and semi-structured data require special processing techniques. Unstructured data are stored in the form of images, text, audio recordings, pictures, videos, etc. The processing of this data requires complex processing systems, such as text mining techniques. The main difficulty in the processing unstructured data is its inconsistency and the lack of standardization and integrity. The second one would be SAKs, security and privacy. Privacy experts and activities have raised concerns, especially since this digital technology rely on de-identified information such as revealing details of patients' life, leading to speculation and sometimes scam caused by activities addressed with it. If the applications are only used on a small scale, it will give people a false sense of security. If used on a large scale, it will create collective panic and bring other harms. There are also concerns that the government will also obtain the data and continue to use it after the pandemic is over, or use the data for non-pandemic purpose during the pandemic. The last one would be the need of most datasets of algorithms and models. In order to precisely track, predict, prevent, as well as diagnose COVID-19, it is critically essential to have a large dataset of modeling and model calibrations.
As mentioned in the literary review, the big data analytics model has been widely used to against the spread of the epidemic. However, there are still many problems in the data collection feature, extraction, and the use of algorithms. So we will discuss the disparities and challenges which will occur in the current analytics model and algorithm, then we will propose accommodation for the raised issues. Regarding disparities and challenges, we will discuss four issues, which is a lack of data volume, non-standardized data quality, single feature extraction algorithms has a small scope of application, and lack of analytical model evaluation criteria. There is a limitation of lack of data volume in the existing diagnostic and predictive models of coronavirus. The non-disclosure of clinical data by clinics and patients' privacy issues have led most researchers to use data from the same institutions such as Cargo to obtain accessible data. The sample size at this stage exposes most models to have a high risk of bias in internal validation. Hierarchical data quality also poses a challenge for big data analysis of outbreaks. There is no uniform format for how data are collected and how they are counted across countries and agencies. For example, dashes in case reports from the US CDC and the Mexican Ministry of Health represent different meanings. Also, as viruses mutate, immune antibodies emerge and the latent cases emerge, Much of the data is not updated in timely manner, leading to fragmentation of data in big data platforms. So in the context of the rapid spread of the coronavirus, standardized data collection methods are timely updating of data are essential to assess the status of the epidemic and its risk. Most of the new coronavirus diagnostics and predictive models use data from X-rays, CT maps, and clinical reports. These data are unstructured when extracting the data from a single algorithm cannot extract both local and global features. A single extraction model can also cause sparse feature extraction and affect the accuracy of prognostic and diagnostic model when extracting features from new coronavirus data. The feature extraction method for these images is mainly through NLP algorithms such as CNN. Although CNN can share convolutional kernels, process high-dimensional data without stress, and perform feature extraction automatically, when the network is too deep, the use of backpropagation to modify parameters will cause slow changes in parameters near the input layer. The pooling layer of CNN also has many drawbacks, such as losing a lot of valuable information and ignoring the correlation between local and global. LDA is used to extract social media's text feature. The goal of LDA is to reduce the initial information of the instanceable of individuals to a small interpretable space while maintaining the necessary statistical dependencies to facilitate the validity of the processed data. However, LDA usually generates incoherent themes and does not consider numerical data. The KDD process from collecting new coronavirus data to building and analyzing predictive and diagnostic models lack evaluation criteria. For example, in data collection, it's hard to determine the data and the target population, and in the process of feature classification, there is a question about how should the best classification algorithm be chosen, and in determining the predictive model algorithm, how to assess the reliability of the model. These are all issues that are now lacking in studies on coronavirus, so the evaluation of model requires a standardized process and proper benchmarking procedures. Regarding to the above questions, we have proposed 3 suggestions for the appearing issues, which are storing and sharing data with blockchain technology, combined feature extraction model, and standardized assessment process. Blockchain is a secure, open, distributed shared accounting system. The distributed classification technologies and decentralized nature of blockchain technology allow for sharing public data and guaranteeing its security and privacy. For example, in clinical trials, blockchain technology can help researchers and clinicians record clinical data in real time, and other researchers can trace and use the clinical data through the blockchain because the data on the blockchain is shared and cannot be codified. It can also help track patient information, including symptoms, location, and health status with a high degree of privacy and accuracy. Compared with traditional CNN feature extraction and classification, CNN-LSTM can discover data interdependencies in the extracted feature in the time series data and automatically detect the best patterns that fit the relevant data. Transformer and CNN can work in both transformer and convolutional cellular neural network. CNN can take full advantage of extracting local features while transformer can extract global features of the image. The PAN LDA integrates the coronavirus disease case time series data with online text data into LDA to obtain a new set of features and introduce them into machine learning algorithms to improve prediction. So the combined feature extraction model allows to optimize computation time and more accurate results. Evaluation and benchmarking procedures are essential to obtain techniques that produce the best result and enable models of greater quality than quantity and provide reliable and useful techniques. For example, when evaluate the artificial intelligence classification techniques, it can base on 3 phases: identification, development, and validation. The first phase identifies the dataset and pre-processing evaluation criteria, and is used to evaluate the benchmark, the number, and the type of AI technologies. And the second phase uses hierarchical analysis to give the assessment criteria weighting. The third phase validates the ordering by objective and subjective methods.
Finally, let's talk about the conclusion and future work. Regarding the conclusion, we can find that big data has played a role in coping with COVID-19 and can help strengthen the response to the impact of COVID-19 in various regions. But the differences between the different system programs are obvious, and there are some general drawbacks. And the application of big data can be improved and optimized through the above suggestions. In our research, we propose some future proposals for the application of big data in COVID-19. First, research on the rules of the big data legislative system. At present, there is a general lack of laws and regulations on big data system in various countries. Due to the lack of clear legal norms, the development of big data in this area will face certain legal hidden dangers. Therefore, this is also an inevitable requirement to promote the application and development of big data. And the second is the connection between big data application and law enforcement. Big data currently has certain applications in the law enforcement process, but it still needs to be popularized. In the face of the emergency of COVID-19, how to use big data to achieve the purpose of efficient law enforcement is what we need to work hard to achieve. The third point is that big data analysis needs to pay attention to ensuring the security of personal information. In the current application of big data, its advantages in data are brought into full play, but the importance of personal information is ignored. This violation of personal privacy also needs to be stopped and improved. Finally, research on the solution to the problem of data distortion. Through the survey, it is found that some countries and regions have data information lag or even some data distortion in the COVID-19 statistical process, which will also have a great impact on the final big data analysis results. So this is also one of the most important contents that needs further research. Okay, that's all of our presentation. Thank you.